Now our next speaker is an Alibaba certified trainer. So she's an international speaker, the co-founder and COO of DMC. She's also one of the first few in Malaysia that became certified by Alibaba.com. And Alibaba Get Certified lecturer. This our speaker has traveled extensively in China to be trained, and she's been trained for e-commerce, digital entrepreneurship, digital commerce, and digital economy. Our speaker is none other than Zevin, Zevin is a corporate and a public training CEO focusing on Google Ads, SEO, Facebook ads, and social media marketing. Okay, let's put Zevin on the floor. Yes, Zevin. Hi, Zevin.
Hey guys. Hi Celia. Hey guys. Good afternoon over right here from Malaysia. My name is Zevin.
Okay, I'll leave you. I'll leave you now, Zevin, for your talk. So, Zevin will be talking about digital. She will be talking about her experiences in Alibaba HQ and about the digital economy era. Because at this point, we need someone to help us or to guide us with this digital transition that we're experiencing. And yeah, Zevin, the floor is yours. So yeah, take it away, Zevin.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Celia. Now, for you guys' information, right? During my presentation, would be sharing I have when the moments that I traveled to China, and in the specific city called Hangzhou in China. That's where the city that Alibaba HQ was located, right? So just a little bit information about myself over right here. As what Celia introduced, I used to travel to China last 2 years, very, very frequent. And one of the trip that I went there, this was my actually first trip that being invited, by Alibaba. Was actually a group of people of top Alibaba.com sellers. So whereby they are actually doing on B2B sellings on Alibaba.com platforms, and they're actually doing importing and exporting right there. So we have, like a group of people across a few countries from Thailand, Indonesia, Korea, Russia, and definitely from Malaysia. So there's only 3 of us representing Malaysia. So I'm actually one of them right there. Second trip that I went there to Alibaba, it was last year, somewhere around March, and all Malaysian. Okay, they are all awesome Malaysian peoples over right here. But this group is very different. We are a combination of peoples that is e-commerce seller. Okay, not just limited to Alibaba.com, but it's across a few e-commerce marketplaces. And we are also looking at people that's coming from logistic background, logistic company. People are coming from digital marketing company. That's basically where we are. I'm representing the digital industry itself. We have people that's from the digital technology, like InsurTech, property tech, and yes, and like the amazing thing is that out of like the 47 of us, there's only 9 of us, we are female entrepreneurs. So I'm one of them representing the female entrepreneurs, right? Now, this is the third trip. So I'm going to combine all my experiences throughout that 3 trips itself and share with you guys what do I see right there and what do I experience right there, and something that is very interesting on how the businesses right there able to tap into digital technology to transform their business and perhaps revolutionize the whole the traditional way of how they actually run business, right? So this was the most recent trip before the COVID virus was hit. But right, this year I should be traveling to China as well. But like everything was on hold, and we are actually having a meeting online. So this trip, I was there being trained, on directly under Alibaba Business School on digital mindset, digital entrepreneur, and we are having representatives from across a few different universities. And we over right here, I'm representing DMC, and we are the only private institution to be there. Now, let's go into exactly what we are looking at over right here, right? One of the things that I experienced right there, and it's very, very interesting because you will never, ever able to experience that outside of China. basically, the first, the first things that I would like to share with you guys, which is Jack Ma's house, right? That's exactly where Jack Ma started his business, in terms of his companies and everything. And this is the gardens, the residential area that he living in, called湖畔花园. Yeah, so this is basically a residential area itself. So the one that you're looking at over right here, whereby we're actually having the picture, taking the picture right on top of that, the first floor, okay, the first floor right there. This was the Alibaba, Jack Ma house, whereby when the moment that they first started, everything's happened inside that. Okay, so we was actually walking around, the residential area and trying to hunt for that particular unit, and we was actually asking the neighborhood, hey, where is Jack Ma house? Yeah. And the people are actually looking at, was thinking of they're actually replying us in specific like this. They say, hey, why you guys are looking for Jack Ma? Jack Ma is no longer living and staying here. Of course we know, right? But we just that, a group of us, we're just thinking of having fun, go there and check out. And at the same time, we're trying to touch the door and feel the chi, the energy of how they actually started, right? So this is just a little bit of a history and for you guys to understand a big giant like Alibaba Group. How do they get started? They don't get started with a big offices, a big building. No, they started with a very, very small unit, and this is the one that you are looking at over right here. An exact screenshot. Perhaps recently, I think last year itself, they actually having anniversaries, right? And they actually reshoot the whole video of a documentary on how they get started again. And this is exactly what you are looking at. A small unit like this, 20 people is in that unit, started the whole dream from that. Yeah. And one of the pictures that they captured over right here, very interesting story, because when this picture was shown, people are thinking wow, so cool, you're actually having meeting, outdoor meeting and things like that. But the main reason behind this picture was that because they don't have enough space and they don't have any meeting room inside their unit itself. That's where they have to go outside, they have to go outdoor, and there's actually the garden space outside, in a public residential area. So they will be there having the meeting itself. This lady, she's very awesome. She's actually one of the partner and vice presidents of Alibaba Group, and this is what she shared with us. And the story of, if you guys ever heard before, one of the largest e-commerce marketplace, which is Taobao.com, okay? It's under the group of Alibaba, and that is that moment, the born of Taobao happened during the time of SARS. So if you guys heard before, now every one of us, we know that, we are actually in a COVID crisis, right? Coronavirus is still going on and things like that. But before coronavirus, there's also another wave before, which was being hit by SARS. And during that time when SARS was hit, same thing happened. We can't go out, and everyone is actually very concerned, and people actually, can't go to office to work. And all the team members under Alibaba Group, they are being forced to go back their house and work. And that is the moment, instead of complaining, why I have to work from home, how am I going to survive? Where am I going to buy my products? Where am I going to buy my convenience, my daily needs and stuff like that? That is the moment that it was being hit. And they have been thinking, if I have the problem, that will be the problem to a lot of people as well. So they started to think everyone's problems over right here. And that is the moment that they started to think of, why not we sell something online? And why not we create a platform for people to sell online as well? And that is the moment, because of SaaS, they see that as an opportunity. They don't see that as a, a crisis, being hit, problems and things like that. They don't, but they see that as an opportunity for them to create something. And now Taobao is one of the top e-commerce marketplaces in the world right now. And that is the moment that being changed. And one of the value that I want you guys to see over right here is embrace change, which is one of the company value that's implemented by Alibaba Group itself as well. Yeah. Another one that we are looking at over right here is something that they are also practicing a lot, is to see the world from a different angles, right? We always say things like this, like think outside of the box, see things from a different angle, different view, and things like that. And this they are practicing, and they make it into like a game and an exercise. When the moment that you are going to interview in their office, in their company, you will actually need to do inverted handstand right there. So this is what we are actually looking at over right here. Okay, so this is one of the activities that's for whoever that is going to interview in a group. To be part of their family, you need to do this. So if you're thinking of actually to go in the Alibaba group to to work there, this is something that you need to make sure that you try out at your home first, yeah? So what else that we are looking at over right here? As well, we are also looking at, other than just working hard, Alibaba, they also practice work happily and live seriously. And because of they work so serious and happy at the same time, right? They don't have time to actually go for girlfriend and your girlfriend and things like that, right? So majority of the time, most of their colleagues, they will get to know each other to their colleagues and they will marry each other. That is one of the biggest culture in their company itself. And Alibaba Group, right? They are they have lots and lots, more than 10,000, 30,000 of employees. I mean, whoever that's working inside, right? So what happened is that you get to meet a lot of people from different department itself as well. They have a lot of company activities, and that is one of the culture that having a group married, together. So during that particular day, every one of them, if you were trying to get married, right, they will choose the same day that everyone will get married together. So that is one of the very fun culture that I encountered right there. But on the side, this is something that they have been looking into that, and that's where one of the main things that it caused them to actually be so. So just think of how can I actually make money? How can I actually make money? One of the main things that they always put the customers at the first place. They always will be thinking from the customer perspective, the customer angle, what the customer needs. What is the problems that the customer is facing? How am I or how are we going to help the customers or solve the customer problem from that? So they always put customer first, and on the second, employee second, and the last one, then only they will be thinking of shareholders or perhaps to the company or to the directors and benefit and things like that. So that's some things that's be it whatever, how big is your company, I think customer first and thinking of how are you able to help your customer, that is something that is very, very, very important. Yeah. Now, on the side, to share with you, share with you guys, other than just within Alibaba itself, right? That's what we did during our trip in Hangzhou. We actually have so-called a small assignment. We go around the city itself to experience the cashless city that we are talking about right here. They no longer use cash. They no longer take wallet. I mean, they don't even bring wallet. You understand what I'm saying? They don't even bring wallet. They say, you don't bring wallet? They say, yeah. Why should I bring wallet? I just need to bring a mobile phone with me and that's it. Because they have something called mobile payments, e-wallet, attached together with their mobile phone, mobile apps itself, okay? So two apps very popular over there. One is WeChat Pay, the other one is Alipay. And this is the things that we are going in over there. We take on a bus and, what happened is that we are like someone coming out from a rural area. When we are entering to that city, it seems like we are someone that coming out from a rural area and we do not know how to hop onto a bus. Because when we are going onto the bus, inside your app, there's an application that you need to activate first, and that will automatically link with your phone. And what you need to do is just that, if you can see that video right there, you just need to hop onto the bus and you just scan. And because of us, we do not know how to use, and we are taking so much time right there. When we take out our mobile phone, that we have to figure out, where to scan and things like that, until the driver scolded us. The driver scolded us by saying that, can you guys, faster instead of wasting so much time right there. So this is some things, other than just buses. I mean, these QR code scans, it has been also implemented, over right there in China as well. So very, very convenient. If you can see me, first time doing that also, I don't really know how to use that. I was going on top or going at the bottom right there. But now, we are very, very used to when we go to China, is cashless city already. Now, what else that we are looking at over right there as well? So we are actually exploring all these very traditional, business that we used to know, right? wet market, veg market, wet market that we are looking at, and this is one of it called Zhuang. Okay, so that place is called the name itself is called Zhuang. Yeah, so it's a vegetables market. Meaning to say, right, it's basically what we call as wet market. Like when you go to market, wet market, yeah, where you buy vegetables, where you buy fruits, you buy your like all those meat and things like that, right? And this is basically the one that we are looking at right there in Hangzhou city itself. And the awesome thing and the cool thing is that everything is right there. They take control of the quality. Like they pay a lot of attention in terms of the quality itself of the food, of the vegetables, and they have the lab tests within the market itself. And they were ensuring, the vegetables right there is safe for you to eat. And they will actually present, the chart right there for you to understand that everything and be safe. And definitely this is what you do, right? When you buy at a wet market, there's no cash as well. If you're trying to pay cash to the seller will look at you one kind again. Even we are foreigners as well, yeah? So, like they are so used to it already. Be it is youngsters, millennials, or perhaps an older generation, they are still implementing the same. The adaptations of them, into technology is so far and so fast as compared to, our other countries, like Malaysia here, we are just starting. So it's the rate of using is not that high yet. Now, another one that we are looking at over right here as well, other than just vegetables, we are also looking at another one. This is called Hema markets. Okay, so other than, like I mentioned, wet market, vegetables market, we are also looking at in terms of supermarket. Okay, supermarket concept, but it's interesting because they sell all those expensive seafood and it's live seafood. So meaning to say, if you tend to go to supermarket, most of the time the seafood is already, like dead, like, it's not live. But when we went there, it was like, it's all live. All the seafood was live. Fish la, crab la, whatever it is, whatever seafood that you name it, and expensive seafood that you name it, you'll find it right there. And this good thing is that they are actually connecting what we call as O2O, online to offline. Meaning to say, you can actually use a mobile phone on place orders, like through online itself, for whatever grocery that you need. Okay, then that order will be sent to the store itself, and they will pick all your order and ship it to your house within 30 minutes. That is their promise. Within 30 minutes, they will ship everything, whatever things order on, and they will be upfront at the same time. And one more thing, right? Over right here in this market itself, whatever seafood that you choose and you pick, you can actually order the seafood and ask them to cook immediately in that shop for you. In that supermarket for you. And when the moment they deliver to you is something that is already cooked and is fresh. It's very, very fresh that we are looking at over right here. Now, what else does I would like to share with you guys? Over right here, we have some other things, and they are actually converting now, especially during COVID. We understand that a lot of shopping mall is actually facing, a lot of like issues and things like that, right? Because there's no visitors, there's no incoming users, there's no one's going into the shopping malls, right? So in terms of shopping rates, everything has been reduced. But this is something that's in China, what they did, yeah. So that mall is actually a technology. So you walk into the malls, right? You won't see a lot of people, even before COVID. Even before COVID, you won't see a lot of people. But that mall is actually an experience store for you to experience. If you see something online and you want to go into offline, to touch and feel and to really see, whatever is suitable for you and things like that, you can go in there. But that is basically for them to display all the technology. And one of that thing is very, very interesting because of what over here, right, that videos that I'm trying to play, I forgot to mute the video sound itself. But what happened is that this whole video over right here, they will actually, you can scan your face and you will actually project your face to the screen itself. And you can actually test whatever type of different types of clothes, exactly within the app. And right after that, after you test it, if you feel good, you like to buy and things like that, you can just purchase it specialty from there as well. So they go with like all these big brands, right? Like Guess is actually doing it and things like that. So it's a very interesting mall. You go in and you can have lots of technology that you can play around with. And one of this one is the one that I love. I mean, we like the most because we was having a good fun right there, because some of the dress is completely not my style at all. But we just, for the sake of like testing it, like, wow, looking how that lace is going to look on me on Zevin. It's like, that's how we, laugh at ourselves. But what else that we are looking at over right here? This is something that I would like to share with you, a little bit of like concept and also mindsets right here. Yep. Now is no longer the era of big fish eating the small fish. It's no longer saying that, big company would win the games. Now we are looking at over right here is completely the other, the other way of doing things is perhaps the fast fish will want fish. Meaning to say, whoever, because of internet, right, because of online, the internet penetration is so crazy. And now we are even looking at doing internet conference, and I'm now in Malaysia, and I'm not so sure you guys are watching from where, right? You could be watching from different countries, but we are all connected together at the same time. And now we are looking at over right here, whoever that to get online faster or to penetrate things through internet faster, you will win the game, because internet allows you to reach out to lots of different users cross different countries. You are not just limited to one small area itself over right here. Now, this is the last sharing that I would like to share with you guys. A very, very interesting village over right here in China. They call it as Taobao Village, okay? As you guys know earlier, just now as I mentioned, Taobao is basically the e-commerce marketplaces, right? So the name of the village is called Bai Biu Village, okay? In translation, it basically called white cow. I mean, don't ask me why. The history itself is because of like, suddenly they saw one white cow, and that's how they named that whole village called White Cow Village. That's it. Very simple history, and that's it, right? But why it's being named as a Taobao Village is simply because this village, for your information, it was about 2 hours away from the city. If you have to go to this village, you need to drive at least like 2 hours from the city area itself to that village, yeah? And this village, they have less than 1,600 villagers right now. Less than 1,600 people. And you know what? How much they are earning on the internet, purely just on the internet itself, selling products online, and much in a year. We are looking at over right here an amount, 50 million renminbi in a year. 50 renminbi in a year, for your information, in US dollar is roughly about 7 million US dollar. But you need to understand, we are looking at less than 1,600 villages over right there, and definitely it's not every single one that is selling online. Over right here, in order for you to claim the title of Taobao Village, that whole village itself, you need to have at least 10% of the villages is selling online. And this is one of it over right there. Their story is very, very interesting over right here. But what exactly that we are looking at? How do they be so successful, right? They are actually selling the whole village. The whole village is selling the same thing. They don't sell different things. They are all in the same industry. They are all selling the same thing called hickory nuts. And the way they do it, the model of they running the business is very interesting. This village has no resources at all. I mean, resources in terms of they don't have the actual product per se. Okay, they don't have the nuts. These hickory nuts, they are sourcing it from the neighborhood village. The neighbor village itself, they go to another village and they say that, hey, you guys have the nuts, but you guys don't know how to do online, right? So they go and take the nuts, they come back to their village and they repackage it into a product. And that is the moment they go online and they sell, and suddenly, the sales is just picking up. That guy, the guy right there, right beside me, right? That guy is the first guy that's selling online. And that moment when he first time selling online, right? He don't even know how to use a laptop. He bought a laptop. He knew that he needs a laptop in order for him to go online, but he doesn't know how to use a laptop. And he put that laptop in his home for about like 3 months. he's waiting for his cousin to have a holiday, school holiday, to come back to his village to teach him how to turn on the laptop itself. And that is where he started, without any technical knowledge, without knowing how to actually turn on a laptop. But now he's one of the guys that's selling crazily on the internet itself. And this is something that I would like to share with you guys. Yeah. But one thing also, people has been keep on asking him, saying that if I don't have a product, can I actually get started? You need to think something beyond. If you don't have, can you work with someone else? If you don't have, can you work with those people that have it? And there is the moment that you get started. Yeah. So this guy is the head of village, and I want to share with you one advice from him, and that's where I want to end my whole presentation by his words. Right? Brilliant guy over right here. We was asking him, how can your village be so successful? Like having all these sellers and things like that, right? This is the advice and nice guys, has been sharing with us in Chinese, exact word by what he's saying. He says something like this, okay? 一想二干三成功. In English translation, it basically means that for whatever things that you guys are doing, when the moment that you think about the idea, you need to do it, then only there's a chance for you to see success. Okay? Most of the times, right, what people will be doing is that people will be just looking at how other people is doing, then they will be waiting first. They will wait and see and observe whether or not other people success. Then, when the moment that they see people success, they will be crying right there because other people already success. And there is the moment that, why not if I started earlier? There is no such thing called what if. What if I started earlier? What if I do this earlier? What if I know this? What really right? The main key points that I want to give you guys over right here is that throughout these whole 3 days, there are so many amazing speakers that will be sharing with you guys with exactly specific, like technical skills. Yeah. But one thing that you guys really need to do is that action. Action is the most fundamental key to success. Results will only come when the moments that you take action and you implement, that is the moments that only then you'll be able to see result. Whether or not it's success or whether or not, you don't see such very good result, but at least you took an actions and you know exactly an answer from that. And that is something that I would like to share with you throughout, at the end of my presentation over right here. Now, without, any delayings and things like that, and before I hand over back my presentation to Celia and also to the next speaker, for those of you, that would like to learn more information about digital marketing and things like that, right? You can basically just channel. This is my company DMC training YouTube channel, whereby we actually share a lot of skill base on digital marketing. And yeah, that's it. So thank you very much. And that's me. My Instagram's ID over right there as well. You can also follow me on my Instagram, Zevin Goay's ID right there. So thank you very much over right here. And yeah, I will hand over to Celia.